guys, and welcome to my channel. I'm so excited to have you here. So today we are going to be going over some top MLM fails. I do this for you guys every single month. So if you have any MLM fails that you would like me to look over or any topics you would like to be in the next MLM fails, definitely make sure to send me an email or an Instagram DM. I normally am able to respond to my Instagram DMs more than my emails, so that would be like the #1 place to chat. So the first thing that we're gonna go over and look at is a video from someone who is in Beachbody, and she is at the top of Beachbody. She literally has made millions of dollars with Beachbody. So a little bit of backstory, my friend actually texted me and told me to go watch this person's Instagram stories, and I watched it and I forgot to screen record it. So thank the Lord for this anti-MLM Instagram, anti-Beachbody Coach, because they got a screen record and they posted it. So thank you to that, because this is something I wanted to talk about. So this person is going to try and compare individuals who are in MLMs, right? So people who are in MLMs, we know that only 1% of people in MLMs make money. She's gonna try and compare that percentage to anti-MLMers who are on diets. It's insanity. Let's watch it. I'm gonna let it play all the way through, and then I have a lot to say.
I wonder how many anti-MLMers are on a diet right now, or have tried a diet before, or put on a pair of clothes and felt really insecure and then manipulated their food. And then I'm like, interesting. I would bet it is a whole lot of them. I mean, I would wager to bet, because I would say almost everybody has gone on a diet, right? Like, especially females. I would say it's 95% or higher. And it's like, you're willing to do a diet even though there's only a 3% chance you'll be successful, but you want to shit on anybody who's doing an MLM or, entrepreneurial stuff, because not everybody is going to be successful in that business. And I was like, it's also kind of like the people who believe that being gay or lesbian or whatever is a sin because like the Bible says. It's like, well, the Bible also says that, there's more in favor of slavery than against it. Says like you can take a man and a woman, you can purchase them from foreigners, or purchase children as slaves, right? It's like, and then there's things about like you shouldn't eat shellfish. I don't really know that much about the Bible, but the point is, you can't just take something and call it fact and like, I live and die by this, and entrepreneurship and MLMs are scams, and then like not apply it to everything. And you can't just take parts of the Bible and not apply, like not take all of it, right? Like, when was the last time you sacrificed a lamb and put it on someone's doorstep, like the Bible says, right? It's just like, so anyway, I had that thought is just like 3% chance of success when you're doing a diet, and yet almost 100% of women will try it. Anyway, food for thought.
So let's go over it. I have a bunch of notes. So how many anti-MLMers are on a diet right now? One, who cares? What does being on a diet have to do with anything? Because clearly we can see what she's trying to do is compare and say, well, anti-MLMers are against MLMs because what? Different reasons. There are many different people who are anti-MLM that have different reasons for not liking multi-level marketing. But myself personally, I don't like a lot of things. I don't like that they go after vulnerable people. I don't like that they very much brainwash people. I don't like that they are scamming people. I don't like that people are losing their homes, losing family, losing friends, going in debt, and all of these different things. I don't like the lies. I don't like the fabrications that are made in MLMs and from MLM reps saying that you can live this amazing lifestyle when most people know that barely anyone is going to live that lifestyle that they're talking about. So that's what I think of when I get mad about MLMs. So what does that, right? What is the fact that only 1% of people in MLMs are going to succeed? What does that have to do with people dieting? What does that have to do with it? So then she says 95% or higher of individuals have been on a diet. This person isn't certified anything. She actually has her own course. So she's a Beachbody coach who is all about the Beachbody lifestyle, but she also has her own separate coaching about intuitive eating, which where are the certifications for? You shouldn't be teaching anybody about anything with actual health and what to put in your body if you're not actually certified in any way. You're not a dietitian. So she does that I'm not already like a fan of in general. So if you don't know the real statistics and you haven't done extensive research on dieting, why so many women do diet, then be quiet about it. That's just my opinion. This has nothing to do with multi-level marketing, and stop trying to utilize that and comparing people's disordered eating diets and all of that stuff to your MLM success rate. And actually, if we're talking about the success rate, I'm glad that she actually essentially admits that she knows only a very itty bitty percentage of people are going to succeed, because she's already insinuating that by saying, oh, well, you guys will be mad at us when all of you guys are on diets, which doesn't even know if everyone who in the world who is anti-MLM is on a diet. So she then said, you're willing to do a diet even though there's only a 3% chance you will be successful, but you want to shit on MLMs or entrepreneurial crap. Being on a diet does not scam people. Being on a diet is either going to negatively or positively impact that person that's on the diet, right? So I'm on a diet. I personally, yes, have to live a gluten-free diet in my life because I'm allergic to gluten. Me being allergic to gluten and having to have a gluten-free lifestyle doesn't impact anybody else but me. So when there are people who are on diets, they're impacting themselves, right? Whether that's positively by, doing things in a healthy way and maybe losing weight, or being on a diet where they can gain weight. Maybe they're in a calorie surplus or trying to gain weight because they're underweight, whatever it may be. They are just affecting themselves, whether in a negative way or positive way. They're having no effect on any other human being on the planet. Now, being in an MLM affects everyone everywhere. It affects anywhere from hundreds to thousands of people negatively. People, again, losing their money, losing their homes, going into debt, losing friendships, kicking people out of their lives, burning relationships and burning bridges with friends and family, like all of that stuff. So when you're in an MLM, you are affecting other people, because what are you doing? You're recruiting people. A lot of people on social media are fabricating things to make this lifestyle seem so achievable when she knows only 1% of people are going to make money, that she has thousands of people under her to where she can buy her $1 million home that she has. So yes, being in an MLM, you are negatively impacting people. You are hurting people, whether you mean to or not. I know, I was in an MLM for 2 years. I didn't know the truth about MLMs. I didn't know about income disclosure statements or any of those things. So I didn't know I was having a negative impact on other human beings. I didn't know that until I educated myself. I got out of my MLM and I really did the research. So there are going to be people in MLMs that don't know they're negatively impacting people. I just want to make that clear. So yes, people who are anti-MLM like myself, I'm going to get mad at people or get frustrated with people when they're hurting others, when they're negatively impacting others, when they're going after vulnerable people. But I'm not going to be mad that Sally down the street is on a diet that I may not even know about, because she's not hurting anybody. She's not doing anything. And all diets aren't bad. There are people who will call diets like when you're in a calorie deficit or surplus, which is actually the correct and scientific way to lose and gain weight. So I just don't get it, because a lot of people are on diets that are healthy for them. Like I'm on a gluten-free diet for the rest of my life. I'm allergic. There are people who are on certain diets that they have to be on, or that their doctor has put them on, that they need to be on for their own health and their own well-being. So this frustrates me so much, because dieting goes further than just dieting, if that makes sense. So something I put in the notes to talk about this also is there's no comparing these two numbers. The 1% of people that have success in MLMs, there's no comparing that 1% to 3% of people who are gonna see success dieting. Because I wonder if she even did a research on that. I think she said she was listening to like a podcast or something when she heard this. So she went straight on her phone to tell people to compare her MLM success rate to dieting success rates, which there's no comparing the two. They have nothing to do with each other, and that's it. And then the whole thing about, you want to shit on MLMs and entrepreneurial crap. That's not true for me. I definitely criticize multi-level marketing. I talk about multi-level marketing. I do deep dives. I do all of these things because I personally don't like the business model. I have seen too many things. I've seen too many statistics, and I just don't personally like multi-level marketing. But I encourage people, literally encourage people to start their own businesses. So I don't know where she's getting that, or like where she's saying people who don't like MLM shit on entrepreneurs, when to me it's the total opposite. I want people to start their own business. I want people to start things from the ground up and be able to have full control over their whole entire business and be able to see any amount of success that they want to see, to not have someone or some upline or some CEO to answer to. Because guess what? Entrepreneurs are their own CEOs, but people in MLMs aren't. Because guess what? Beachbody, for this person is in Beachbody. She has a Beachbody corporate she has to answer to. She has Beachbody corporate, but they shit on corporate all the time. She has a CEO, Carl Deichler, that she has to answer to. So she's not an entrepreneur or anything like that. Maybe other things that she does if she has her own other business. I know she is doing the intuitive eating thing, which again, I don't agree with without being a dietitian or anything like that, or specializing in intuitive eating to make a course about it and teach people about it. But that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. So yeah, I encourage people to start their own thing. So I don't know where she gets that from. So I have two other things about this. I'm sorry, this is the longest thing we're going to talk about because it just, it made me so frustrated. I don't even know why. It like ticked me off, maybe because I'm really passionate about just the psychology behind, you know, body image and eating disorders. And I know what dieting does to people and why people resort to dieting. And I'm talking about unhealthy dieting, like going on things like juice. They're only going to have juice for 2 weeks. Like I'm talking about those kind of diets, not things that again are made by your doctor or things like that. I'm talking about like the unhealthy dieting. I just know where that comes from and where it stems from and where it can lead people in their lives mentally and physically. Then she says all the crap she said about the Bible and then goes, but I don't know much about the Bible. That frustrated me. Anyways, it's disgusting. I don't like the comparison. You don't compare those things to your MLM. And lastly, she says you can't just take something and call it fact. But you know what you can do? You can find a fact and call it a fact. Income disclosure statements per MLM generally showcase the fact that people don't make a lot of money at the bottom. You have to be in that top like 0.1 or 1%. Or in the John M. Taylor study, where John M. Taylor did his own study and his own research to find that with an average of 99.6% of participants lose money in multi-level marketing. And that's just not the only example. Let's move on to the FTC. Here's just one example where the FTC says, what are your income goals with multi-level marketing? You might think that with your smarts and hard work, you can earn substantial income through the MLM. In fact, most people who join MLMs and work hard, emphasis on work hard, make little or no money, and some of them lose money. And this isn't the only spot where the FTC actually says this. There are many other spots on the FTC's website where they say this about multi-level marketing. So yes, I'm going to take this as fact, but to reel this all in, let's just look at Beachbody's income disclosure statement from 2020, since this individual is in Beachbody. So here we have the income disclosure statement for Beachbody in 2020. Now keep in mind that this does not include purchases Beachbody coaches have to make monthly, which include to stay active and hit Success Club, you must purchase minimum over $100 monthly. You must pay a $15.95 business fee every month, but it's actually higher for other countries. And then you're also going to have to pay for things like their new program releases, which cost hundreds of dollars each new program release, which they normally do about 3 to 4 a year. And then you have to pay for things like summit trips, new clothes, email listings, and so much more. So keep that in mind. That is not put here with the numbers. So here, as you can see, only 1.4% of coaches get in the star diamond rank. Keep in mind, though, I love that they don't put this on their income disclosure statement, but there are actually 15 star diamond ranks that are all in that one rank. So this makes the average earnings extremely swayed. So let's look at the average earnings just for all ranks in general, which is at the bottom row. And that states the average earnings for a Beachbody coach for all coaches, doesn't matter how low they are in the pyramid or high, it says is $3,088, and the low earnings is $0. This is facts and statistics, so yes, I will take it as a fact. I am going to take the statistic as fact, and I'm going to roll with it. I don't need to take the facts about MLMs and implement that to dieting because they have nothing to do with each other. So I don't get it. What do you guys think about this one? What I actually wanted to do was look at the comments that are actually on this post. So like I told you guys, Anti-Beachbody Coach is the one who posted this, since I forgot to screen record it from this person's actual Instagram account when I seen it. They had got a lot of comments on this that I thought were like important to highlight. So I'm just gonna go through some. I'm not gonna put them up on the screen, but I just thought it was interesting. So yeah, one person said, tell me she did not just compare her being criticized by the anti-MLM community to being ostracized or oppressed for being a, person of color or LGBTQ, which exactly. Someone said, she's very publicly anti-diet though, because diets don't work, as she says. So she is literally saying she's allowed to be anti-something because of the low success rate, but that's not allowed for other people. Also, the low number of people that make money is just one of the many reasons MLMs are shit. Someone said just because diets, unhealthy diets don't work doesn't mean your MLM doesn't also not work, which is true. Then someone says, so she's admitting Beachbody diets don't work then. Also, the rest made no sense, which is true. Someone said, I don't know, they quoted her, I don't know much about the Bible, but I'll throw out random things that might be in it to back up the nonsense argument. Exactly. Yes, and then someone said, my diets don't hurt anyone but me. My diets don't force others to spend money for my diet to work, and that's exactly what I'm saying. Unless we're talking about the actual like marketing for people who sell like dieting products, like diet pills and all of that crap, clearly that company's hurting people, multiple people trying to tell them that like diet pills are going to work for them. But when one individual is deciding to go on a diet, it's only impacting them, nobody else. And then the last one I'm going to read is, never been on a diet, but if I did, the odds of 3% is still higher than being successful in an MLM. Okay, so I just checked the time. It took like 20 minutes to respond to that. So let's just go on to the next one. It is a Monate one, and this one got me.
Making every single person in my life buy my products. Men's face wash. My dad gets it. I love it. It's amazing. I mean, first of all, if you don't buy my products, so I'd probably never sleep at your house. We're simply not that close. If you don't buy my products, then we are not close enough for me to go to your home anyway. And so everybody that I am close enough, aka with my parents, have to buy my products, have to buy everything. So they even have more than I have because I don't have the men's skincare line. But the men's skincare line is the best. I absolutely love it. So now I'm washing my face with it all weekend. And it's amazing.
So let's read what she actually said on the screen. So she goes, I slept with my makeup on last night and woke up with a pimple. So now I'm using my dad's skincare line, or my dad's men's line, because it's so much stronger and amazing for mini acne. She then goes, we're simply not close enough if you don't buy my products. So we're not close enough for me to sleep over. So luckily I never have to pack my products because my people always have it. So she essentially says, you have to buy my products. That was the wording she used because I quoted it on my screen. I make everyone close to me buy my products. You have to. With MLMs, this is the problem I have. You as an MLM rep, because I have been one before, you're not entitled to anyone's money, no matter if they're your friend or your family or the person who birthed you out of their vaggie, okay? That's the problem with MLMs, in my opinion, is a lot of people at the top of the MLM have taught their downlines to what? Kick people out of their lives if they don't buy your products, because if they don't buy your products, they don't support you and they don't love you. Then if you don't buy products from them, you're this fake person who's not real, you're not a real friend, you're not really supporting them. And it really gets to that point where a lot of MLM reps are taught that. They're taught you need to kick that person out of your life because if they don't buy your product, they don't support you, which is completely false, because I don't have to buy a product from my family for them to know. Like, my brothers own a business and I don't have to go to them. They don't expect me to buy things from them. Now, can I if I feel like it? Yes. Will they always be here to let me buy products? Yes. Do they give me a discount? Yes, because I have bought like 2 or 3 products from them because I needed them. I told them, hey, if you ever get this product in, let me know. I would love to buy it. But they don't come to me and say, hey, Deanna, you should buy this product. If you don't, we're not cool. Like, your brothers are going to hate you. No, because it doesn't work that way. You are not entitled to anyone's hard-earned money, MLM or not. No company is entitled to it, and no small business is entitled to it. If your friend or family wants to buy a product from you because they actually will utilize your product, let them do that on their own. But just because they don't buy a product from you doesn't mean they still don't love you and they still don't support you as a human being. So I didn't like that. I didn't like that because I know if this is on Instagram, what are they training their teams to do? And what are they training their teams to think when it comes to this? The next one is another Monate ones. I've got a lot of Monate ones this time, which you guys always know I do, because usually those are the ones that are sent to me the most and posted the most. So this one, I'm gonna put an emphasis on the critical thinking that she wants you to lack. So let's watch this. It's 2 minutes long.
Stop listening to everybody in the back. Stop listening to Google. I get it. You want to learn more information. You want to know all the details. You're searching. You're going through everything. But it's also going to stop you from doing what you want to do because you're so scared of everybody else's reviews or experiences. And most of the time, guys, in this business, in this type of industry, like, you're gonna fluctuate up and down. You're gonna make money, you're not gonna make money, you're gonna have an amazing business month and you're gonna have a horrible business month. It's just a matter of this industry, and you have to be strong. Most of the time when it gets hard, when you're having a bad month for your business and you're not making sales and it's not going good for you, most of the time, like 98% quit and their business flop because they quit. Because one time it got hard and they decided to quit. Whereas the people who have good months and bad months, but we still keep going, we still keep pushing, And so a lot of you guys have like, you know, conspiracies. You guys get a lot of like controversial because, oh, our company has lawsuits. Whoa, okay, and Target has lawsuits, Sephora has lawsuits, Mac has lawsuits. All these big companies have lawsuits. Like, you ain't telling me nothing that I don't already know. A lot of you guys say, oh, I knew somebody, a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend of a sister that joined the business. She didn't see no results. She didn't make back her money. But how is she working? You know, I always say this, in this business, like, it's simple what we do, but it's not easy. It's simple. We're social selling. We're promoting the products because we genuinely love them.
Okay, so I didn't write this in my notes, but I do want to mention it because it is talked about a lot. So when they say it's simple, but it's not easy, I can kind of comprehend what she's saying. So she's saying it's simple because what? All you're doing is sliding into people's DMs. You're posting photos, you're making posts that are about your product. So I kind of get what she's saying as what you have to do are simple tasks, but it's not easy. Why is it not easy? Because you're on your phone all day. You are having to slide into people's DMs, which is a simple, hey, I'm going to write this message and send it, but it's embarrassing, it's cringeworthy, it's awkward, especially for people who have like social issues when it comes to like social anxiety and stuff like that. So I get what she's trying to say, that it's easy in the sense of the tasks that you have to do are simple. Send messages, post photos, take photos, boom. But it goes deeper than that because that's not all you end up doing. If you do build a team, you have to train them weekly, you have to answer their questions all the time. While yes, training someone for an hour seems like an easy task, these are things that take up so much of your time and so much of your energy without much results. So that's the problem that comes in and why people get frustrated with this quote of it's simple, but it's not easy, because even when she just talked about it's simple, but it's not easy, she didn't actually explain what does that really mean. Like, it's okay, what's simple, but it's not easy. So I get why people get frustrated with that, but I can get why she says it. But still, the tasks that you have to do are so time consuming for making like a cent an hour that it's just not worth it in my opinion. So let's go back to the beginning. She said, stop listening to Google and researching. It's also going to stop you from joining and stop you from doing the things that you need to do, right? So she's essentially doing the thing that most people do where they say, oh, you know, just jump in, just do it. Don't do your research. So I actually want to look at information control portion of the BITE model. So you know the BITE model is what individuals look at to essentially see if something is a cult. So there are 4 aspects of the BITE model. It is behavior control, information control, thought control, and emotional control. So we're going to go through these 6 things about information control that you'll find essentially in cults and things like that. I'm not saying this MLM's a cult. I'm just essentially looking at the comparison. So deception, either deliberately withholding information, distorting information to make it more acceptable, or systematically lying to the cult members. So I see withholding information. You don't want people to go online. You don't want people to research. You don't want people to listen to people. And then you talk about your lawsuits just randomly like, oh, who cares about that? You're not actually doing anything. You're deliberately trying to make it seem like it's no big deal and you should just like sign up with us anyways. Number 2, minimize or discourage access to non-cult sources of information, including internet, TV, radio, books, articles, newspapers, magazines, media. Isn't that what she did? She literally said, don't Google things. Like, that's gonna stop you. Don't do that. You shouldn't do that. So you are minimizing and discouraging access to non-cult sources of information. So it says it had the list of all of those places that you could get information from. It also had critical information, talking with former members. So you're discouraging people to listen to former members, right? So you just discourage someone that they should not listen to a friend of a friend or a family member that said, you know, you probably shouldn't join this thing. So you are going to minimize or discourage access to former members. You're going to minimize or discourage access to keep members busy so they don't have the time to think or investigate. I don't think she did that. And then control through cell phone with texting, calls, and internet tracking. I don't see that happening. So number 3, compartmentalize information into outsider versus insider doctrines, which one is ensure that information is not freely accessible, control information at different levels and missions within the group, only only allow leadership to decide who needs to know what and when. I actually experienced this in my MLM because I found something that was really shady towards the end when I was doing actual research. I would say the last 2 months of my MLM, when I was like finally thinking it was super shady and doing research, I found certain information that my upline knew but decided not to tell any of us. So you do see this in MLMs. Encourage spying on other members. We're not really seeing that by what she's saying. Extensive use of cult-generated information and propaganda, including newspapers, media, journals, videotapes, YouTube, movies, and other media. Misquoting statements or using them out of context. And number 6 of information control is unethical use of confessions. There was a lot of aspects of this, more so towards the beginning. So the deception, the minimizing and discouraging access to information. So she was discouraging access and all of that kind of stuff. So to me, that's a problem. When someone tells you, oh, well, Googling it, it's gonna stop you from like seeing success. Google it. Do your research, because that's a problem. And I feel like if you had nothing to hide, right? If my company that I wanted to work for, say a random company down the street, a coffee shop, and I say, hey, I'm going to go Google your company. I want to learn a little bit more information, look at some reviews of past workers. And that company looks at you and says, don't do that. It's going to stop you from joining. Why would you ever do that? Like, it's going to stop you if we want to hire you. Like, why? You should run out of there, because no company should say that if they actually want you to have all of the information, right? And if they are telling you not to look things up because it's going to stop you from working for them or anything like that, then that means that there's something online that they don't want you to see. So I feel like it's also very common for MLMs to control the information that you intake. And it happens all the time by them discouraging things like this, discouraging Googling and looking at reputable sources and looking up actual lawsuits and everything like that. So the next thing that she says is 98% of people quit. The people who have good months and bad months keep going, and most of the people flop because they quit. So this is something that I heard a lot in my MLM. So here she's trying to say that those who don't quit during the hard months will see success, which is not true. Not everyone who gets through a hard month in their MLM, because I'm guessing a hard month means, you know, I'm just alleging that this is what she means, that a hard month is when you're not making money or you're not signing people up. So if people get through that hard month, it's not like they're just gonna be a millionaire. It's not like they're all just gonna end up in the top 1%, because it's not possible for everyone to end up at the top. It's just not. So with this, trust me, like I said, was told this in my MLM to the point where I believed it. I started to believe that, yep, everyone who stays in will see success. I believed it to the core of myself, because I would hear that so much from my upline. So it's so common to hear this exact phrase that like the only people who fail are the people who quit, because I have heard it, and I will admit that that made me stay longer, because I started to believe, oh, well, if I'm that person who stays for 5 years and I keep putting in all of this work and this energy, I'm going to make this amount of money, or I'm going to see success. And everyone under me who stays and doesn't quit during a bad month will also see success. So I've heard this before. It's something common that I feel like really controls people, because it controlled me and made me stay in my MLM longer. So I find that quote something that makes people stay longer in their MLM and is a bit controlling in my opinion. And then the last thing, she talked about the lawsuits. She said, well, all these other companies have lawsuits, which may be true. There are going to be other companies. So the lawsuits depend for me. It depends what the lawsuit is. So for a company, I do actually think that most big companies do have some sort of lawsuits in their lifetime. Something, right? Something happened. They mishap somewhere. They messed up somewhere, but it depends what it is. So with Monat, what are their lawsuits around? Losing hair. So why would people want to try your product if a lot of people are alleging it made people lose their hair? And on top of that, there are lawsuits where Monat will sue people for speaking out. I don't agree with that. If I have a bunch of companies and I see a bunch of companies suing individuals for speaking out about their experience with that company, I'm not gonna roll with that company anymore. But I see it happen. I see people criticize places like Target and other big companies all the time, and I don't see Target trying to sue them. They just let them talk their opinion, and they let people get their opinion on it. So yeah, to me, it just depends on the type of lawsuit, what's said in the lawsuit, and how I see Monat's deal with the lawsuits and the Florida Attorney General stuff. I just can't see myself getting down with that. So it really depends to me on the type of lawsuit, because I kind of agree with her there that, you know, a lot of big companies are going to have lawsuits. It's bound to happen at some point. But why are people suing that, that company? It depends on why for me. So now we are going to look at a 15-second clip that I actually can't play because it has the song Rise Up by Andrew Day. Ooh, I love that song. And I'm just gonna play it and walk you guys through it. So here it is. It's a FaceTime call with someone who's really high up and it works. And she is screen recording her FaceTime call with someone that is in her downline. And the clip says, "This is why I do this," with a crying emoji. "This mama," so she's a mom, "joined me in January and just opened her commissions for last month. She has earned $30,000 in bonuses and she was eligible for and just surpassed her full-time income." 1,000% income claim. You can't say that. You're not allowed to say that though. "Oh, she earned this much without," that's an income claim. You're trying to show people that it's possible, right? Because she said that on purpose. She said "this mom" on purpose, right? She probably wants to recruit other moms. And then she said "join me in January." Why would you say that? Why would you point out the month that the person joined you? Because you want people to see, this is just my opinion, by analyzing this, that you want people to see that it only took her, what, January, February, March, April, May, 5 months to get a $30,000 bonus. You want people to think that in their first 5 months, they can get that. Let's look at It Works income disclosure statement and let's see if this is possible. So if you look at It Works income disclosure statement, I can look at the different ranks, but I am going to key in at the bottom of the income disclosure statement because I love this portion. It says, "The income statistics above are reflected in US dollar amounts and exclude distributors in Japan and Korea. Income is defined as commissions received from It Works and does not include income received from personal sales. Active distributor is defined as a distributor who earned at least one commission in 2019. Coming up though, it says the average monthly earning for all distributors. So I love how they didn't put this in the actual huge income disclosure statement graph that they have with all of the ranks. They, at the bottom, decided to, in really small letters, take everyone of all ranks is what I'm getting by this, because it says the average monthly income for all distributors active and inactive in 2019 was. That means every single person in 2019, it doesn't matter if they're at the lowest rank or the highest rank, the average monthly earnings was $183. $183! That's a low amount of dollars. So while you're sitting here talking about the fact that this person got a $30,000 bonus, which good to her, cool, she got a $30,000 bonus. I wonder, does she have to have a downline for that? How does that all work for the bonus that she got? I wish I knew she stated which bonus she got so I could actually look it up and read about it. But the fact that it literally says in their income disclosure statement, which is the most recent one from 2019 on It Works website, that the average person earns $183 a month. So I personally don't like this because it is trying to show people that they can make it happen in the first 5 months, and they can't. We don't know this person's story. We don't know what did she have to do to get there. Does she already have a big social media platform? Does she have a big family where a bunch of them signed up? How did she get this bonus? What bonus is this? Is it one that you have to have a lot of people under you, or is it one that you have to sell a bunch of products? Because that's also important. If it's one that you need certain recruitment qualifications, that showcases that you had to recruit people, and recruiting people got you this huge bonus. So I do have a couple more questions about it, but I did want to show you guys this because this is an income claim. There's nowhere on the screen where she talks about the fact that, you can't make this much money. It's not typical or anything like that. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. Oh, this one. So this is an Arbonne rep, and I'm not gonna show the daughter. She's a little cutie, not gonna show her though. On my channel, I will never do that. On my channel, show a child, but her child is the one in the photo. This is the caption. I don't know why she would have her daughter as the face of this caption, but okay. She goes, "How we feel about nasty chemicals in our skincare products." She says, "You may be thinking, I've always used self-care products from the supermarket and there's no difference. Toxic chemicals in our skincare, hair care, and nutrition products build up in our system over time and can result in dehydration, easily irritated, unbalanced skin, and overall poor health. Studies conducted on 20 girls aged 14 to 19 detected 16 nasty chemicals in their blood and urine. Chemicals that have been linked to hormone disruption," and then she'd be like the heart breaking emoji, "and we all know how much this could impact a young girl. We tend to think what we do on a daily basis is harmless, but our daily choices compound. If we have dry skin or acne breakouts or feel tired all the time, we never put it down to the products we use. We always have another excuse. I was one of those people, hands down, without a doubt. It's never too late to make the switch to low tox living. Everything can be improved with the right conscious decision. And then she says, this information is from my own personal research as an independent consultant and not from Arbonne directly. So I can appreciate the fact that she put that. She put, this has nothing to do with Arbonne. Yes, I'm talking about, that you should probably buy Arbonne products, but Arbonne has nothing to do with this. That's a smart thing that she should put at the bottom. She is trying to cover her tail, but she did admit, I'm an independent consultant, so I can applaud her for that. That's what you're supposed to do, is let people know you're an independent consultant, and what you say isn't always, what the company has allowed you to say, like you have said it yourself. So I appreciate that. I can give people props where it's due. I don't like the fact that she utilized her child as the face of this, because I feel like children get a lot of people views, and it's really sad. I have been watching a lot more about it and how, people exploit their children to get likes, get views, get comments, drive sales. And I feel like that's what she's trying to do. I don't know why it wouldn't be a photo of herself, but instead she's using her daughter. And again, I'm not a mom. I'm not trying to mom shame or judge or anything like that. I just don't like that you're trying to sell your Arbonne products, right? That's why you're talking about nasty chemicals, because you want people to go buy your Arbonne products, but you're utilizing your daughter to sell your Arbonne products. I didn't like that. If you're a mom, let me know what you think down below. Don't mom shame or anything like that, but it is okay to give criticism on things like this on social media, because I don't know. I don't think it's right. Now, maybe because I have a dog, so maybe I can use my dog as an example. If I am selling a dog product, I can use my dog, I can show the product on my dog. How's it working? Say I have like this amazing, hair removal like thing that I use on my dog that helps my dog's hair not mat or something crazy. And I want to show a video of me using it on my dog to show proof that the product works. I get that. That's cool and all. So if it was a child product, so say this product she's talking about was one for a child, and then she was using it on her child to showcase, hey, this is my child before and after. This is, her skincare routine and how it's worked for her because she has these conditions, whatever. I get that, because you're trying to show people a child's product works on a child. You're trying to show proof. So for that, I would be like, okay, that makes sense. But for this, I just don't like it, because I see her as someone who's trying to sell her adult skincare stuff and adult, self-care products from Arbonne, but utilizing her gorgeous child to do so. So I didn't like that. Okay, so this is another one from Beachbody. It's a video, and I actually found this in my camera roll from January that I forgot to use. So I'm now getting better at when people send me things. This was specifically sent to me by someone in my DM, so thank you to the person who sent me this. But the person sent me it in January, and I've gotten better now at making albums like in my phone. Like if people send me, like gluten-free food recommendations, I try and save it, like screenshot it and put it into an album. So I've been trying to do it with MLM stuff so I don't, miss it if I want to talk about this in the future. So this is what I found in January, and I was going through my phone. I was like, oh my God, I didn't talk about this. So it's gonna be a little bit from months ago, but I do want to talk about it and bring it back up again.
Another thing I have to share with you guys, I had shared this with a few girls who I've been talking to who are planning on joining our New Year challenge, which I'm super excited about, but I wanted to make it public and Instagram stories. So if you've been thinking about joining us, I have to say, I got my stimulus check today, $600 of free money that I was not expecting. I didn't even know that I was getting it. I'm putting that money towards my debt, which is amazing. But if you are someone who is wanting to invest in your health and fitness journey, and you're the person who always uses the excuse of, I have money, the other main excuse I have here is I don't have time, which check your screen usage, your screen time. I promise you have 30 minutes a day.
Okay, so I'm going to pause it here. So she's already using her stimulus check to go to debt, but she's trying to tell people that if you say you don't have money and you're too busy, shh, be quiet, you have time. Oh, and you definitely have time. Look at your screen time on your phone, because you probably use too much of your screen time. Maybe I do use a lot of my screen time, but maybe I enjoy TikTok and I find it as a good way for me to decompress at the end of my long day. Let me live with my screen time, okay? And then she put, these are the top 2 excuses I hear from people who want to make a change and are struggling with their health, but let their excuses control their life. I don't see it as letting excuses control your life because we're still in a pandemic. Things are, you know, the vaccine and stuff seeming like it's going to be on the up and up. You know, hopefully in the next year we can see big change in our world. But what if someone does have to use their $600 to their debt too? Or does someone need to use it for bills, for savings? You know, that's what I would recommend. If you are someone who, you know, you don't know if you're going to lose your job because we're still in a pandemic and things like that, taking that stimulus check, if you don't have debt or you don't have bills you need to pay or you don't have anything you need to use the money on, put it into savings and save it for the next month, because you don't know what the next month is going to bring. This pandemic has really showed me that saving money where you can is extremely important, and you don't know the next month, are you going to still have that job? Are you still going to be making the same amount of money you were the month before? And really taking the time to save the money that you're getting from stimulus checks, if you're not going to use it, can be really helpful, because again, you don't know if your job's going to have to lay people off or whatever it may be. So I just think it's funny how she's using her money for debt, but she's going to tell people that they're making excuses.
And same when it comes to money, you guys. Like when I joined, I did not have the money either. I bought my challenge pack on a credit card, paid it off later because I knew that my health was an important investment. And, you know, we say we don't have money, but we're choosing to spend our money on other things that aren't going to better us or better our life. So why not invest in your health? It's not very expensive.
Okay, I want to listen to this one part again so I can emphasize it for you guys. So she says she put on a credit card, which to each their own. If you put on a credit card, that's fine. I will admit, when I joined Beachbody, I did put on a credit card and then I paid it like the next month or whatever. So I was in the same boat where that's what I did. So I was able to, though, because I was having money coming in, I was able to pay it off like that next month. So I know a lot of people don't have that privilege. Like, I don't think it's a smart decision to put yourself into debt, especially if you're someone that you think this MLM is going to bring you all of this money to where, because I hear that a lot, like, oh, well, I put on my credit card, so I'm going to help you make the money back in the next month. No, don't listen to someone if they tell you that they're going to help you make your money back the next month or something. If you think money's coming in next month, I still recommend to not do that to yourself, because if you put something on your credit card, you're putting yourself into debt for something. I personally don't like that I did that, because I did it myself, but I learned a lesson. You know, you don't put something on a credit card just because you think you're gonna have money that next month to pay it off. You just don't do that. It's not a smart thing to do. You say that you don't have money, but you're gonna spend money on things that aren't going to better you or better your life. So I can see why she's saying that, but you don't know what's going to better someone's life or make someone's life better. So you may think that a, you know, Target run to go get new clothes is a dumb thing that's not going to help you, but that may be a way for someone to treat themselves and make themselves feel good. And yeah, just because you think that someone is spending their money in a way that isn't bettering them and bettering their life doesn't mean it's not bettering their life. Say someone spending their money on a new computer because it's going to help them make their life easier. Maybe they don't have to go to a library anymore, or maybe they don't have to go to their family's home to use it. Maybe they bought a printer so they don't have to go to their family's house to print something or something like that. You don't know what is going to make one person's life better than the others. Does that make sense? And then she says it's not very expensive. And on the next slide, she actually shows a bunch of like sample packs of things. So she shows their pre-workout, Shakeology, Bevy, and post-workout. So let's talk about this. Shakeology is about $120 to $130 a month. Post-workout is about $80 a month. These are for clients. Their pre-workout is about $50 a month for a client. And Bevy, I'm not exactly sure. And you're saying that's not a lot of money for every month for someone to spend it on. Because I know I don't spend that much money every month on things besides food. I would love to know what you guys think down below about that, because I dislike it so much when they try and tell people how to spend their money, and they're trying to tell people that what they're spending their money on isn't bettering them. But how do you know what's bettering one person and not bettering another? Does that make sense? I hope this all makes sense of what I'm trying to say. But that is going to be all for this video. Leave a comment down below about, I don't know, which MLM fails got to you. I would say the first one is the one that got to me the most, which is why I talked about it for 20 minutes, so most of this video. Don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below if you would like to. I love chatting with you guys down there, and then subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next one. And then definitely, Deanna, get it together. You do the same outro every time. Okay. Oh no. Builds up in our system over time and can result in dehydration, easily.